What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip and welcome back to another video. So, today is July 14th, 2025, and that means today is the release date of Sodo Gojuger, or rather, Yudo Gojuger, to be precise. I'm sorry about that. But yes, it's out today as of this recording. And yep, as you can see here, I have already completed my Gozyu Wolf figure. So actually, this isn't a figure anymore. So let me explain. So first, we have to look at the boxes. So this is the set A. So this is box A. Again, in here you got the upper half of the body and the Wolf Decaliber 50 or the Wolf Decaliber Go. So this is the first part. And the second half would be the lower half of the body, so the legs, and you have left hand here, so the open hand, and the Tega sword. So these boxes are huge. So to compare, so this is my my Boom Red 119 figure from last year. Look at how thick this boy is. And yep, also the height is different. Okay. So this is a much larger box. However, size-wise, when it comes to the figures, they're still very much the same. So again, I don't think I should call Gojuger Yudo a figure anymore, because as of now, Bandai has officially turned the Yudo franchise, or the Yudo toy line rather, into a full-blown model kit. So these aren't all of the runners, but yes, there are a lot of runners. So now you have to put your Yudo model together piece by piece. So there you go. Again, this is just like half of it. So yes, Yudo is now officially a plastic model kit. Not a figure, a model kit. So older Yudo figures, maybe you have, like, the hands, for example, they would be on some runners. So I guess that's partially a plastic model kit, but for the most part, like, as you would see in the packaging, so let's say the upper half of the body is already pre-built, like you would see here, and then you just need the other half to complete the set, and maybe put on some stickers, and you're good to go. But no, that's the reason why this Yudo box is so big. And another thing about this year's Yudo release is that you would notice the date, right? So again, today is July 17th, 2025. So normally, Yudos would be released at around May or maybe early June. This is by far the latest Bandai has ever released their Yudos, because, well, apparently, so they actually waited for Goju Polar to come out. So in a normal Yudo setting, so you would have, let's say last year the Boom Boomgers were released. So the Boom Boomgers, well, you get the core 5 and then like a box of extra parts, and then Boom Violet would come out later in another set. So this is like the part 2, for example, right? So this is the second lineup of Yudo figures for Boom Boomger. But now, they actually have Goju Polar as part of the first line of Yudo figures. Or model kits. They're model kits now. So, yeah. So, again, you can see here on the back again. So, you have the core 5 Gojugers. So, you have Goju Polar right here. And these are the weapons that you get. So, each Gojuger will come with their signature weapon plus the Tega sword. They will have an open hand, at least for the left hand side. So yeah, I'm not sure about Goju Polar though. So I'm not getting him, not necessarily. At least I don't plan on it for the moment. But yeah, these are the things that you would essentially get when you uh, buy a Yudo set or a Yudo kit. So before, like I mentioned, you would get, you might need to get a separate like set of parts in order to completely enjoy the figures, but or models, they're models now. But again, for these two boxes, you basically have everything you need. So you have the main Gojuger, so you have the Tega sword, again, like an open hand, and their signature weapon. So let's get on to the actual finished kit. So for this one, it actually comes with maybe 7. So it comes with 7 safety nubs, which I highly recommend that you cut if you can. So I do have my handy dandy plastic model tool set that I use when I build Gunpla. So I do have like a pair of nippers here. So I highly recommend that if you do have hobby nippers, do cut those safety nubs if you want your Udos to look cooler. So as for the safety nubs, so there was one at the back of the head. So there's one here on the forearm, on the back of the forearm for each, so both left and right. And there are 2 safety nubs at the back of the leg, so one at the thigh and one on the calf each. So again, so considering left and right, so in a total, yeah, there are 7 nubs. So again, I highly recommend that you cut them off to make them look more natural. So the stress marks are still there. You can definitely see the stress marks here, but I think that's much better looking in my opinion actually than if you actually keep the safety nubs on. But yeah, totally awesome looking now that it's finished. So also it says on the packaging that you don't need tools for this, but I still recommend that at least you nip the parts off of the runners because that's much faster that way. And I think I found it much more efficient and actually easier if you cut the parts out of the runners than just like forcing it with your bare hands. Yeah, so highly recommend that you get hobby nippers at least, or you can use the nippers that you use to clip your nails. I think that works too. And the plastic isn't actually that hard, so you don't have to worry about like making like breaking sounds. Like it was completely quiet when I actually cut the nubs. So the plastic is surprisingly softer than you think. So anyways, let's move on to the articulation. So for the head, you can basically get a 360 spin. Well, at least you have to tilt the head upward. So, and you can see here that I am tilting the head. So that works really fine. So there is a neck joint that you can see here. So I just removed that. Okay, so let's put it back in. So for the arms, as you can see, they are basically open 360. So the shoulder armor can actually move, but the arms don't really move that much. So you have the elbow joint, and it can go actually over 90 degrees. So because you put the parts together yourself, so there is a joint on the lower arm that you can use to pivot the arm as such, and it's surprisingly tight. So you you can turn it around technically, but it's so tight. It's so tight. So the hands are on a typical ball joint, also very tight. The waist can technically go 360, and because there are actually like some joints that you build inside the torso, so I'm gonna show you this part. So you can see this black piece right there. So yes, that's how you attach the top piece to the bottom piece, and there is a bit of a nab crunch. Insignificant, but it's still there. And for the legs, so you have this kind of almost 180-degree split, but there's a joint inside. You really can't see because it's on the inside of the leg, but you can use it for the thigh roll. The knees bend just slightly over 90 degrees, and the feet are on the ball joint as well. So again, it's basically highly movable, and you can do pretty much what you would expect from any judo figure over the past few years. Again, the only difference now is that you put all the parts together as you would a Gundam model kit. So yeah. As for the stickers, so there are quite a lot of stickers. So the eyes, so even the wolf eyes are on one piece. The mouth is a sticker. The back of the head is one sticker. The shoulders are the gold parts on the shoulders are stickers. So the ring piece on the chest is separated by the top and bottom half of the stickers. So inside of the arms right there. So the blade of the Tegasword is a sticker. The inside gold bands on the forearms, or on the wrist rather. So the belt, so it's separated into two pieces. So this part right here, like around the thigh, so that is a pair of stickers as well. And gold bands at the back of the legs, so they are all stickers. And my only issue with this, so they're not really durable. So as you can see, like the bottom part of the sticker at the back is already damaged. Also the right shoulder, so the gold stickers, you probably can't see it clearly on camera, but yeah, that's damaged already. So I also would suggest, if you do have the time, like if you do have like Gundam markers, like if you have a gold one, then I do recommend painting or using a Gundam marker to paint it. You can also do it to, I don't know, like maybe color the edge of the Wolf Decaliber to make it pop out even more. Although, again, for what it is, it's decent. So again, I'm just surprised at the fact that you now have a full-blown model kit instead of like a typical candy toy figure. But looking at the finished product overall, I'd say it's actually good. Yeah. So what do I think of Gozyu Wolf? I would say it's overall it is nice, and surprisingly the build process didn't take very long. You could finish this in an hour, like again including the extra details that I kind of did, like removing the nubs for example. Yeah, it's about an hour's worth of build. So yeah, I would say Gozyu Wolf Yudo. So considering the new things that they've included, again, I don't mind that this has become an actual like plastic model kit, but definitely it's a fresh take on the toy line. But again, overall the quality is nice. So I would give Yudo Gozyu Wolf a 4 out of 5. So next up, I will be building Gozyu Unicorn. So if you want to see Gozyu Unicorn next, please do watch out. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Please do hit that like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to share this video and comment so you get the latest from JEFusion as well. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next build. So when we talk about Gozyu Unicorn. So, thanks for watching. Bye.